Call a meeting to order. This is the October 11th, 2017 meeting of the Lowell Conservation Commission. We have a short order of business. First, it's a request for a determination of applicability by Sariroth Yi, 62 Weber Street. The request is for a replacement of a fence within 100 feet of the bank to Black Brook on land subject to flooding and within the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands. If you want to come forward and introduce yourself, please. Just pull the microphone down a little so you can, yeah.
My name is Putbath Yi. My sister's traveling right now, so, but we both own the home.
Okay.
We're just replacing the fence. It was a wood fence before, but it keeps falling down into the neighbor's yard. So we finally got up the funds to fix the fence. We've been at the property for about 14 years, maybe a little bit over.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I have some pictures.
Okay, why don't you bring those up? I did get out to the property today and took a look around, and part of the original fence is the wooden stockade, and I believe the rear line of that fence you're going to keep to the very back line of the property. You're going to keep the wood fence there?
No, we're gonna do all
You're going
white.
to do the whole
Mm-hmm.
ring. Okay, so two stretches of the new fence are in. It's vinyl.
Yes, there's
Vinyl.
two that we put up because those were falling down,
Right.
and I have a pool, so I just want to make sure nobody kind of crosses the property.
Oh, I know, it's a concern. So I'm assuming that all of the remainder of the fence that you want to put up will be the same style of vinyl?
Correct.
Okay, now inside the vinyl, there is a wooden post. I didn't
think-
know this before. I don't know if they do it all
I
the
think
time.
that they just put it to steady it, and I think it's gonna be removed. I'm not sure, because
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But-
But my concern was to see if, let me get those to Jeff, to see if the new fence was going to take up more volume, more space than the old fence, which is what we have to be concerned about with areas that are in floodplain. And it seemed to me that there was almost an equal situation between old and new.
Mm-hmm.
What you should have done is not taken the old one down before you came here and explained what you wanted to do, because if you were to put a new fence somewhere where there had been no fence, then you would have been taking up volume in the floodplain.
No,
And
understandable.
that would have been pretty difficult to compensate for.
Yeah, in the beginning, I looked up on the website and it said I didn't need a permit for a fence, so then I started working, and then somebody had mentioned to me, like, well, you know, with the water and stuff, I was like, and you're on a floodplain? I was like, oh, okay, so that's when I made a phone call to City Hall, and then
Yeah.
that's how this process got, but on the website, it said no
Well, I'm
permit
glad you
needed,
did,
so-
because you haven't actually disturbed the most sensitive edge, which
Mm-hmm.
is the edge along the brook, except to take the old fence out.
Yes.
I consider it almost sort of an emergency safety measure to get a fence around that pool area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if a kid could walk across that pool cover and not fall in, but I don't know about anything heavier than that. And certainly that's a concern for, as you say, people walking through the yard.
Yeah, so that's why we kind of replaced the front, and then the cover I bought, I mean, it's sturdy because I got one of those covers where, I don't know, and in the advertisement, the elephant was on that, and
Oh, was
so I'm concerned, but then I wanted to keep an eye on my property too. That was my main concern when I had called City Hall. I was like, hey, listen, I have a pool, and I know that my home insurance came and inspected, and she told me that these fence, they've got to be replaced, or you've got to get something sturdy. and you need to,
I can understand
Enclosed
that,
it.
yeah. Another issue is, there's something called a sediment control fence that maybe somebody at the city recommended needed to be put along the edge of the brook to keep soil from washing down into the brook as you're doing your construction. And we'll have to see what anyone else thinks about that, but I'm thinking that this bank is very steep and the fence is just at the top of bank. And I'm thinking putting in a sediment control fence would actually be more detrimental than actually being careful of the sediments as you're digging the holes to put the posts in, making sure that no loose sediment remains around on the site near,
Okay.
that could wash into the
Okay.
brook. I'm going to find out what anyone else thinks, but I know you do have to dig down a number of inches. You'd be disturbing roots along that top of bank, and I'd just as soon have you do the work in as fast a manner as possible and be aware of the dirt that you take out, if there's extra, that it should be carried away from that edge of the property.
Yes.
Not allowed to wash down into the brook.
No, that's okay. My mom will probably use it for her garden.
Yeah, well, we'll
Okay.
see what anyone else thinks, Kate.
Yeah, I have no other questions, and then as for the erosion control, I don't think it's necessary. I think the fence guy is gonna be there for a few hours, so it's not like you have a big construction project that needs erosion control, so I don't think that's necessary.
I didn't get out to see the site, but if the fence isn't gonna take up any more volume than the old fence, then I'm okay with it.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, if there's no more questions, is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or against the fence?
You should favor.
Okay. This is a request for determination, so I think this could easily be a -3 with perhaps a couple of conditions.
So I'll make a motion to issue a -3 determination. And just, again, as long as property owners out there making sure that no dirt from, or soil from the fence installation gets pushed down in the
Okay.
brook. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll second that motion.
Is there any concern, were you planning to remove the old fence from the property?
Yes.
Would?
Yes.
Okay, motion made and seconded. If there's no more discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So within a few days, you'll be getting something from City Hall telling you that you have permission to replace the fence, as long as you are careful with the sediments that might be stirred up as you're doing it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Okay, next on our agenda is a notice about our meeting dates for the year 2018.
Do you have to accept
If
that?
anyone had a chance, well, I had a question. We only have one meeting in November, and I believe Thanksgiving is the fourth Thursday, which means our meeting would be after, the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. I know last year we did cancel a second meeting because it was the day before Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking we should have a second meeting in November
This is for 2018.
for 2018.
You looking?
Is that
Let me
Is
see.
that right? Fourth Thursday is Thanksgiving?
Well, we're on Wednesday, so.
I know, but,
So it's the 22nd, right?
So we could still have,
so our meeting would be the 28th, right?
still have the meeting on the 28th, 14th and 28th?
Yeah.
Or, no, it'd be 7th and 21st.
No, because we're second.
Yeah,
Second and fourth?
yeah, 14th and 28th, so.
Yeah. There's no meeting on the 14th of what?
No, I think it's the 28th.
Because last year, it was the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so we
So we
should,
eliminated it, but this year, or 2018, we won't have that situation. Okay. So if you could just add in another meeting date, and then we'll approve that next
Yeah.
meeting.
and then December, we're okay with the 26th being.
Oh, yeah, we don't
Canceled.
want, we
Okay,
don't want to
we're
come
good
on the
with that.
26th.
Yeah.
Or should we just approve it with correction right now? Why don't we do that?
Yeah, so we'll approve this list with the correction that there is I just got rid of my calendar, sorry. A November 28th, Wednesday night meeting added to the schedule.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have two utility-type cases here. The first is an administrative consent order for TransGas. And it says something about them applying to DEP. Does that mean that this is just informational for us?
Yes, it's just information for
Okay.
the commission.
All right, if anyone wants to see the file, it's right here. And the other one is National Grid, which is some utility work over by Reese Avenue. And that is also informational, I believe, since they're a utility, we don't
Right, and it's existing
control what they
infrastructure.
do. Okay, so we can accept those for informational purposes. We have no minutes, and is there anything else, Patrick? Okay, we're ready for
Red birthday boy.
Motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn, seconded by
Second.
all those in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you and good night.